The King's Avatar, Chapter 1446, Calculating Position. Audio source, wuxia-world-audiobook.com. Chapter 1446, Calculating Position. Translator, Noam Yummy. Editor, Noam Yummy. Mo Fan was still expressionless, and he didn't have any interaction with the others. But in the few minutes that had just passed, Yishu was able to determine what Mo Fan's plan had been on the battlefield. After being restricted by 8 notes ice-lined, Mo Fan was still working hard and persevering. And behind this perseverance wasn't just his searching for a chance to escape. With Mo Fan's skill in this area, he probably already recognized that so long as the opponent didn't make a mistake, his deception would have a very difficult time breaking through that encirclement of spirits. His perseverance was his refusal to give in, but at the same time, it was prolonging the battle. And the goal of prolonging this battle was the same goal that Blue Rain had at the very beginning: wearing down. Mo Fan wasn't able to wear down the opponent's health much, but throughout his perseverance, through the prolonging of the battle, he was able to wear down a significant portion of 8 notes mana. The Summoner class was a mana-hungry class. Even in this seemingly perfect match, because of Mo Fan's unflagging perseverance, he was still able to leave a hidden scar. Mo Fan couldn't take advantage of this hidden scar. In a 1v1, under conditions like that, it was fairly unlikely that he could drag the battle out until 8 notes ran out of mana and he could counterattack. But he still held on, all in order to help his next teammate. The solitary Mo Fan had always been alone. He had been happy for almost 2 years without really becoming anyone's friend. But now in this match, in the group arena, in a situation where his own chances of success were already unlikely, he understood how to fulfill his greatest potential, for his upcoming teammates, achieve the greatest chance of victory. Yishu couldn't help but think of that one-team match they had against Blue Rain, where he covered for Mo Fan's retreat, but that guy turned around and came back to save him. By that point in that team battle, there wasn't much suspense. No action would have had a major effect on the battle's outcome. But for Mo Fan himself, it had unusual meaning. His actions that day allowed Yishu to see that Mo Fan was steadily growing to become a competent pro player, a pro player who was beginning to recognize the importance of teammates and teamwork. Mo Fan's actions that day didn't affect the battle's outcome, but the fact that he now had this recognition would definitely prove valuable on the battlefield one day. And that day had arrived, the opponent once again Blue Rain. In this group arena, Mo Fan's realization of the importance of team allowed him to finally move away from someone who was always pursuing individual endurance and victory. In a situation where he didn't have much chance of winning on his own, he thought of how to best ensure the team's overall victory. Lose the battle, win the war. This phrase was perhaps an excellent annotation for this match in Mo Fan's future professional career. Now it's up to me. Feng Rui stood up, holding out his fist toward Mo Fan. Mo Fan looked at him without reacting. No passion at all. Feng Rui grumbled, heading toward the stage. The stadium screen was already displaying Happy's next player and character, and in the broadcast, Pan Lin and Li Yibo could discuss how they thought Feng Rui would perform in this next match. Even though Li Yuan won beautifully, he's exhausted himself quite a bit. Li Yibo had also noticed that 8 notes had used up a significant amount of mana. Now, let's see how Feng Rui will take advantage of that point. Pan Lin said. Group arena, both sides were on their 3rd player. Soon, the match began. Before either player moved, messages were exchanged. Always guessing around is such a pain. Name a place and let's meet up. Feng Rui said. How about the central path? Li Yuan said. All right, Feng Rui answered, and Boundless Sea immediately turned toward the left path. The crowd instantly booed. This was why it was very difficult for a player like Feng Rui to become the ace player of a team. This kind of action was sometimes shameful even for his own team's fans, so there was really no way he could become the symbol of a team. Li Yuan's 8 notes had very honestly taken the central path. Feng Rui's boundless sea, under the booing that he couldn't hear, was very calmly taking the roundabout route. Li Yuan had also clearly realized that 8 notes was rather low on mana, so he took a while before summoning a creature. He only released his first summon when he was right near the central path, letting it walk at the front before summoning 2 more to bolster the left and right. Evidently, he wasn't naive enough to believe that Feng Rui would actually take the central path after saying he would. Finally, Li Yuan arrived at the very center of the map, where the two had agreed to meet. But where was Feng Rui's boundless sea? The display screen switched point of view, and the entire glory world was speechless. Left. The upper left corner. Why is Feng Rui's boundless sea heading over here? Pan Lin exclaimed, shocked. Feng Rui's roundabout travel here was roundabout to the very extreme. Boundless Sea was directly charging toward the very upper left corner of the map, and his current distance from Li Yuan's 8 notes was only growing. Maybe he just wants to be a bit farther from the opponent, so they don't meet too quickly. Li Yibo said. Pan Lin instantly became speechless as well. Just during the last battle, he and Li Yibo had analyzed the disadvantages this map had for a summoner. Because the field of view on this map wasn't very large, if a summoner waited until discovering the opponent to summon a creature, it might already be too late. So, a summoner had to always have summons on hand, whether to protect or to investigate. Therefore, under these conditions, even though the two sides hadn't met yet, the summoner would continue to use up mana. So right now, Feng Rui was using the simplest and crudest method. Just hide far, far away. You can't find me, so just continue to waste your mana. This method capitalized upon the awkwardness a summoner faced on this map. But for him to play dirty to this extent, it was really quite ugly to watch. The booing of the crowd now became much louder now than they had been with Feng Rui's initial deception. Where you at? Li Yuan now asked in the chat. Ready to ambush you at any moment. Feng Rui said boldly, who was currently over half the map length away from 8 notes. Hiding away to waste my mana. Li Yuan actually directly called out Feng Rui's intention. How could I? Feng Rui refused to admit it. But even though he'd completely guessed Feng Rui's intention, Li Yuan didn't hesitate. He began summoning one after another, and instantly 8 small summons were released, scattering outward in all directions. It was all very fast, very resolute, as though in a race against time. And when these summons spread out, everyone immediately realized that on the west side, the left side where Feng Rui had gone, there was a summon directly heading toward Boundless Sea's position. Based on the character's movement speed, he predicted the most likely path. For this kind of decision, the faster it's made, the better. If too much time passes, then there's no way at all of judging where the opponent might have gone, Li Yibo said. Then based on that, maybe it would have been better if Feng Rui hadn't moved at all at the start. Pan Lin said. It seems that way, but he did move, and the distance he moved is within Li Yuan's calculations. Li Yibo said. On an overhead view of the map, a line was drawn between Boundless Sea and that light-aligned summon, marking the place where they were likely to meet. WuxiaWorldAudio.com. Right now, both were steadily heading toward that point. Li Yuan has made ample preparations on this map. Li Yibo exclaimed. There! Pan Lin shouted. Boundless Sea and the Light Spirit weren't battling yet, but the two had entered into each other's sights. At this distance, Li Yuan himself could no longer see his own summon, but he could check its movements. If he received notification that his summon was attacking, then he knew without question that that was Boundless Sea. But at this moment, the signal he received was stronger than that. This little light spirit directly vanished. The summon's time hadn't expired. For it to simply vanish, that meant it was killed. Again, it could only be Boundless Sea. Li Yuan immediately had 8 notes to rush toward that direction, at the same time restarting his summoning. He replaced the 4 spirits that had headed toward the east, combing these 4 into 2 big spirits, and then adding 4 more little spirits, spreading out in a fan toward that direction. This dense forest map was rectangular in shape, longer in the north-south direction, narrow in the east-west. Searching horizontally already increased the chance of encounter. And with the current formation of Li Yuan's summons, everyone could see that Boundless Sea's position was restricted to a very small area. Watching this, Blue Rain's audience felt very satisfied. You wanted to play around, so think you can play your way out of this? Seeing the opponent's dirty play and bloodily was always fun to watch. But at this moment, Fang Rui suddenly stopped playing dirty. Boundless Sea was no longer continuing toward the upper left corner, and as though he was leading an army of 1,000,000 soldiers, he charged straight toward the encirclement of summons. Is he trying to forcefully attack his way through? Pan Lin shouted. But Li Yibo furrowed his brow. The rhythms of the battles on this map so far had all been fairly slow, which gave him more time to observe and analyze. Because of that, he had been commenting at a fairly high level today. At this time, carefully studying the movements of both sides, Li Yibo once again felt that something was off. They met. Boundless Sea, who had voluntarily made his way toward the encirclement of summons, finally met them. But because the formation of his summons was so spread out, 8 notes couldn't have all of them in his view. That was to say, Li Yuan couldn't personally control every single one of the summons in the encircling formation. And the summon that Boundless Sea crashed into now was one of the independently moving summons. Cloud Pushing Palm, Chi Bullet, Counter Current. Boundless Sea never stopped moving, and with a series of booms, low-level skills came out one after another. The small summon was acting like an innocent bystander passing through, and was easily taken care of. He broke through. And very easily, it looks like. Pan Lin shouted. Yes. Li Yuan wasn't the only one calculating the opponent's position. Fang Rui was also anticipating, and then he guessed the surrounding formation he would use. Encirclements always surround a large area before shrinking to a smaller one. When the area is large, the encircling members don't have very close contact with each other, especially on a map like this. Fang Rui took advantage of this point and actively attacked, breaking through Li Yuan's plan before the encirclement became an effective containment. Li Yibo calmly explained what happened, but this time, he still overlooked a point. Boundless Sea hadn't simply escaped out of the encirclement. After killing the little spirit, he suddenly dashed in a slanting path and chapter.
The King's Avatar, Chapter 1447 Genius Fang Rui, Audio Source, WuxaWorldAudiobook.com. Chapter 1447, Genius Fang Rui. Translator, Nomyami. Editor, Nomyami. Pan Lin and Li Yibo stared blankly. The audience members, misled by the commentators, were stared blankly. Break out from an encirclement. That didn't seem to be the right direction. If he goes in that direction, won't he crash into a spirit? Li Yibo started thinking. But this time, the development came too fast. Before he could think it through, Fang Rui's Boundless Sea ran into a little spirit. Boom. It was another low-level skill into a normal attack, extinguishing the little spirit. Then, he continued. Li Yibo finally understood. He's going around the circle, killing them one by one. Li Yuan didn't have an omniscient view like the spectators. When the little spirit was killed, he could deduce the general area where Boundless Sea was located from the pathing of the little spirit. He didn't have a precise grasp of Boundless Sea's position. The spirits that he had placed far away weren't within his command range, so he could only make adjustments for the spirits within range. Fang Rui was targeting this point through forceful attacks. Even though his initial actions were rather dirty, Fang Rui was now attacking like thunder and moving like the wind. After killing 2 little spirits, he finally encountered a big spirit. Hua. Icefall. This big water spirit threw a cube of ice at Boundless Sea. Boundless Sea rolled to avoid it and then shot out a chi bullet. The big water spirit unexpectedly moved to the side, dodging the chi bullet. Fang Rui realized that this water spirit was under Li Yuan's control. Although he couldn't see 8 notes, this big water spirit just happened to be within both players' field of vision. The situation immediately became tense. Should he continue forward, or retreat temporarily? Pan Lin and Li Yibo had just brought this point up, when Boundless Sea rushed forward decisively. Spiral Chi Kill. With a wave of his hands, spiraling chi tore through the dense fog, making it increasingly more visible. The big water spirit wanted to run, but this spiral chi kill chased after it. In the end, a summoner couldn't control its summons as well as his own character, and the attack landed. Jella. The spiral chi kill struck the big water spirit, giving off a strange sound. The big water spirit shot backwards along with the rotating chi. Spiral chi kill didn't have a blow-away effect. Li Yuan had decided to retreat, controlling the big water spirit to move backwards, borrowing the knockback from spiral chi kill to reach such fast speeds. Chi Flowing Cloud. Boundless Sea activated Chi Flowing Cloud, buffing his movement speed. His steps quickened, like moving clouds. In the blink of an eye, caught up to the big water spirit and slammed into it. Chi Break. Chi poured into the big water spirit. The chi circulating inside the big water spirit could be seen due to its transparent body. Then, with the bow, a crack appeared inside the big water spirit. The crack spread until it spread throughout the entire surface of its body. Finally, with a shatter, the big water spirit crumbled into several pieces. At this moment, Li Yuan's 8 notes and his countless spirits were now inside Fang Rui's line of sight. After Fang Rui killed the 2 little spirits, Li Yuan immediately had 8 notes replenish and send him out again. He had also recalled the wave of spirits he had spread out previously. 8 notes had summoned a big fire spirit too, with numerous little spirits beside it. Seeing that Boundless Sea was nearly within reach, 8 notes commanded the spirits to form a line. Spirit-style combat relied on numbers and cooperation between spirits. Besides a Spirit King, a single big spirit couldn't even compare to a Death Knight or one of the 4 beasts. Li Yuan's attempts to surround Fang Rui's Boundless Sea with spirits had failed. At this distance, trying to surround him would require even greater precision. But Boundless Sea unexpectedly stopped there. As soon as he saw the line of spirits formed by 8 notes, Fang Rui typed out a smiley face in the chat and then ran away into the dense fog. Li Yuan wasn't going to let him go so easily, sending out several spirits to give chase. The spectators had a clearer grasp of the battlefield because of their omniscient view. Boundless Sea's retreat was a fake one. After retreating, he circled back. Fang Rui had played boldly for a bit, but then switched back to playing dirty. Not long afterwards, a little spirit found Boundless Sea. Fang Rui didn't hesitate to kill it. He continued to wander. Fang Rui seemed to be doing what Mo Fan had done, but in fact there was a difference in purpose. Mo Fan had been trying his hardest to escape from the notice of the spirits. However, Fang Rui was actively seeking to kill the spirits. As soon as he found one, he would quickly destroy it and then continue on with his hunt. Li Yuan's army of spirits started to dwindle in numbers. Seeing this scene, Pan Lin couldn't help but sigh. Couldn't Mo Fan have done the same? It's different, Li Yibo said. Fang Rui is able to do it, but Mo Fan could not have. Why? Because of 8 notes mana. If you take a closer look at the situation, you'll notice that Li Yuan's spirit formation doesn't have the same compactness as when he had deployed it against Mo Fan. Fang Rui is able to play in this way because of the foundation that Mo Fan had built. Because of the mana Li Yuan had used up in the previous round, he cannot play as boldly as he did before. If he did, his mana wouldn't be able to last this fight. But if this continues, he has no way of catching Fang Rui right now. I think he should give up on beating him and instead try to take out as much of Fang Rui's health as possible. Li Yibo said. Li Yibo was correct. Li Yuan currently faced a difficult situation. Those who played dirty were masters at digging into wounds. They'd take your weak spot and then mercilessly stab at it again and again. Whether it was playing boldly or playing dirty, Fang Rui had always been targeting Li Yuan's weak point. Whether it was the unfavorable terrain for summoners or the mana issue created by Mo Fan's efforts, Fang Rui took advantage of both. He's not wasting the foundation that Mo Fan laid down for him. What a reliable guy. Yishu sighed. Everyone looked at Mo Fan. They wanted to see if he would put on a face of gratitude after seeing the advantage that he had built up being used. But all they was him continue staring at the screen. There shouldn't be any problems with this round, right? Chen Guo asked Yishu. No problems, Yishu said with certainty. Li Yuan's 8 notes had almost no mana left. At this point, Li Yuan will most likely try for one final all-out burst. We'll see how Fang Rui deals with it. Yishu analyzed it deeper than Li Yibo. None of Li Yuan's attacks could reach his opponent. He knew that he couldn't let his time on the battlefield go to waste, and if this continued, it would be a waste. As a result, he decided to make use of all his remaining mana. He didn't think too much and immediately sped up the pace, increasing the density of summons, forming new spirits to make up for the missing ones. Fang Rui immediately noticed the change in pace. He knew Li Yuan had no choice but to bet his all to win as much as possible for his following teammate. Come, let's decide it, Fang Rui shouted in the chat. Boundless Sea rushed forward, not towards 8 notes, but towards the outer perimeter. It's match point. What is Fang Rui planning? Pan Lin yelled excitedly. He's running away, Li Yibo said weakly. Fu. Pan Lin nearly cursed but caught himself in the end. When he checked the map, Boundless Sea was heading straight for a direction away from all of the spirits. Wasn't he running away? Mo Fan's skill at escaping is truly outstanding. But Fang Rui is more experienced in comparison. He immediately noticed the sudden change in pace from Li Yuan. WuxRWorldAudio.com. Li Yibo said. Then, he ran. Yeah. Their voices gradually became gloomier as if they felt embarrassed about reporting this reality. At the deciding point, Fang Rui ran, quite successfully too. Because at that time, Li Yuan had just readied himself to go all out. Just when he sped up the pace before he could spread out his new summons, his opponent smelled the air and ran. Yes, smelled the air and then ran. It was an unglamorous description, but it fit Fang Rui's style. The outcome was even more infuriating. Li Yuan's 8 notes was now out of mana. A bunch of spirits roared as they chased after him. Then, as time went by, spirit after spirit crumbled. Finally, Fang Rui's Boundless Sea showed up majestically. Are you going to GG, or do I need to help you out? Fang Rui typed out arrogantly. The entire stadium was filled with boos. His way of doing things is too ugly to look at. But from a practical standpoint, his plan was extremely effective. For such a dirty plan, even if you had the capability to think of it, you might not be able to do it. Li Yibo tried his hardest to justify Fang Rui's actions. Yes, for example, if Fang Rui didn't have an extremely acute sense of awareness, he might not have succeeded in the final escape, right, Coach Li? Pan Lin said. Yeah. Li Yibo said. Then, I guess that's it, Pan Lin said. Yeah. A summoner with no mana had practically zero combat ability. What's worse was that he still had 18% of his health left. Apart from the shuriken thrown by Mo Fan last round, he hadn't taken any damage. Now, he had no mana, and attacks would certainly come his way. Watch me destroy you. Fang Rui became bold, facing this manaless summoner. Fang Rui's history is quite rich. Pan Lin tried to look at things from a different perspective as he explained the origins of this master of playing dirty. Yes. When he first started playing competitively, he had created a random team with a few friends and participated in the Challenger League. Li Yibo said. A bunch of very dirty playing friends and a team that played very dirty, Pan Lin said. Their win record wasn't anything amazing, but Fang Rui had caught Team Blue Rain's eyes. Blue Rain has always been good at digging out people with personalities. Then, Fang Rui joined Blue Rain's Training camp. Afterwards, he was dug out by Wind Howl. Now, he's gone to Happy. And he's changed classes several times during this time. Truly a genius. End chapter.
The King's Avatar, Chapter 1448. I've got good eyesight. Audio source, wushouworldaudiobook.com. Chapter 1448. I've got good eyesight. Translator, Gnome Yummy. Editor, Gnome Yummy. Li Yuan's 8 notes fell without any suspense. For a summoner without mana, no one would blame Li Yuan for surrendering. But Li Yuan still had 8 notes run around left and right. He had no way of resisting, but he dodged around to drag the fight. Dragging the battle would tire out Fang Rui a bit more. This seemed to be the name of the game for this round's group arena. However, Li Yuan had trouble dragging the fight out, and the effects were poor too. Even so, he didn't give up until the end. He didn't give up until Boundless Sea took away the last drop of life from 8 notes. Li Yuan went down from the stage. The entire stadium roared with applause in praise of his outstanding performance last round and his perseverance this round. Trying to drag the fight without any mana seemed like he was just haggling over pennies, lacking the air of a powerhouse. However, in this group arena, neither side was giving in, so no one was bothered by Li Yuan's methods. Good job! Li Yuan received praise from his teammates, but he himself looked dispirited. He was very unhappy with his match against Fang Rui. Next, Team Blue Rain's 4th player went up, Lu Hanwen, Flowing Cloud. The crowd went into an uproar. If Lu Hanwen was 4th, then Team Blue Rain's final 5th player was most likely Huang Shaoshan. Placing the ace player as the anchor was a very conservative arrangement for this competitive format. By universal agreement, winning the group arena was only meaningful if you won by more than 2 points. As a result, teams usually place their ace player as their 4th member to end the group arena then and there. But despite this being Blue Rain's home game, they had Huang Shaoshan as their last player. Was such a conservative arrangement an indicator of their lack of confidence? Whispers spread throughout the stadium. Blue Rain's unusual arrangement made their fans feel uneasy. Pan Lin and Li Yibo discussed this issue quite a bit. In the end, Li Yibo summarized it by stating a reality. Given the circumstances, Blue Rain is temporarily on the back foot. Blue Rain was on their 4th player, yet Happy was on their 3rd. What's more, Fang Rui had only lost 26% of his health last round against Li Yuan. He still had 74% health left and nearly full mana. It was hard to say who would win this next round. If Fang Rui won, Happy would have an overwhelming advantage. Who will win? Everyone in the stadium wondered as they watched Lu Hanwen go onto the stage. He was still a young teen who hadn't fully grown, yet his footsteps were firm. Step by step, he walked onto the stage. The 6th round of the group arena began. Little Demon, where do you want to meet? Words immediately popped up into the chat as soon as the match started. Fang Rui spoke as if he was a villain in a drama. The center. Lu Hanwen replied. Okay, you'd better not go back on your word, Feng Rui said. The boos were ear-deafening. Quite a few Blue Rain fans started throwing curses at Feng Rui. Last round, Feng Rui had went back on his words, yet now he was telling the other side not to go back on his words. How could they not be infuriated? On Team Happy's side, Chen Guo felt like she couldn't lift her head. It was true that she was happy about winning, but she was far from agreeing with the phrase, "the end justifies the means." When she looked at Wei Chen, she saw him react with a big grin at Feng Rui's shameless display. Senior, I don't think you're in a position to warn me. Lu Hanwen said what everyone wanted to say to Feng Rui. Ha, do you want to guess if I'm going to go or not? Feng Rui said. Shameless. Everyone cursed. Senior, I don't know if you're going to go, but I definitely will be. Lu Hanwen replied. Little Lu, what a good kid. The crowd cheered. They didn't know who would win this round, but at least in terms of morals, Lu Hanwen had already won 100-fold. Sure enough, Lu Hanwen went straight along the central path like he said he would. What an honest kid. Wei Chen sighed. What, you disapprove? Chen Guo said. I don't disapprove. As long as you win, then I don't care. Wei Chen replied dully. As for Feng Rui, he lived up to expectations. After telling his opponent to meet in the center, Feng Rui went back on his word and took the roundabout route to the right. A short moment later, Senior, I'm here. Flowing Cloud raised his great sword and stood at the very center of the map. Okay, I'm almost there, Feng Rui replied. Boundless Sea continued along the path to the right. I'm guessing that Senior won't be showing up from the front, Lu Hanwen said. Smart. Then from where? Keep guessing. Feng Rui said. The left or the right? Lu Hanwen said. I could come from the back. Feng Rui said. Right. Lu Hanwen seemed to have been enlightened. So you've got to be careful, Feng Rui said. His Boundless Sea was already positioned by Flowing Cloud's right side. If he wanted to ambush Lu Hanwen, he need to find a good hiding spot first. He couldn't use the dense fog as cover. If he did, while it was true that the other side wouldn't be able to see him, he wouldn't be able to see the other side either. Like a thief, Boundless Sea rolled around forest. I wonder if Zhao Yang's watching this match, Pan Lin suddenly said. Ha, Li Yibo laughed. He immediately understood Pan Lin's joke. He wanted to know what Zhao Yang was feeling, seeing his Boundless Sea become a dirty chi master rolling around in the dirt. Feng Rui finally found a position. Boundless Sea let out a peek from behind a tree. After checking his surroundings, he immediately went back into hiding. He could see Flowing Cloud. The other side was just standing there as if he were waiting for him. Was Lu Hanwen planning on reacting to his moves instead of taking the initiative? Because of the visibility issue, the distance between the two sides was closer to each other, and there might not be enough space to react. While Feng Rui was pondering over how he should mount his sneak attack, a message suddenly popped up in the chat. Senior, I see you. Oh, Feng Rui laughed. How could someone as experienced as Feng Rui be tricked by these words? He simply laughed inwardly at his opponent's naivety. Yeah, I've got good eyesight, Lu Hanwen said. Really? How terrible. WuxiaWorldAudio.com. You're going to rush over and attack, so I'd better run. Feng Rui chatted, while thinking how he should open the fight. However, the crowd outside had started growing excited. Lu Hanwen's Flowing Cloud was quietly moving AEAD straight for Boundless Sea's hiding spot. He really saw him. Everyone was astonished. Put on a replay from Lu Hanwen's perspective. The broadcast immediately displayed a replay. Lu Hanwen had constantly been checking his surroundings, looking left and right. Slow it down. Quote. No one noticed anything, so the call to slow it down was made. 1/2 speed, 1/4 speed, 1/8 speed. Everyone finally saw it. It was just an instant, but Feng Rui's Boundless Sea could be seen taking a peek from behind a tree. Even under 1/8 speed, it had just been an instant. Feng Rui had moved extremely fast. He had only exposed his head for a short moment. A normal player might not have caught it, but Lu Hanwen had. "I've got good eyesight. That wasn't a joke." Lu Hanwen wasn't as naive as Feng Rui had thought. As he continued chatting with Feng Rui, Flowing Cloud closed in quietly, step by step. "That idiot," Wei Chen cursed, obviously referring to Feng Rui. "That kid really has incredible eyes." Quote. A replay of the moment was displayed on the big screen. The broadcast even put a red indicator on Feng Rui's boundless sea to make it easier for people to see. When Yishu saw the replay, he had been astonished by Lu Hanwen too. Feng Rui still had no idea. However, he had finally thought of how he should start his offense. Before doing so, he needed to confirm his opponent's position. Boundless Sea quickly peeked his head out. Sword light. All Feng Rui could see was sword light. Right when his head peeked out, sword light had cut his way. Feng Rui hastily moved his mouse back, and Boundless Sea retracted his head. The sword light flew past the tree. "How fast!" Pan Lin cried out. As for whether he was talking about Flowing Cloud's attack or Boundless Sea's head, no one knew. Both were correct though. "It's a pity he's using a great sword," Li Yibo noted. Great swords were far slower than lightsabers and tachis. The attack speed limited how fast a player could attack. Pro players could rely on their hand speed to attack faster than normal players, but when the hand speeds were equal, a greatsword would certainly lose out to a lightsaber or tachi. Flowing Cloud's sword draw had missed by just a hair. If he had used a tachi or a lightsaber, it would not have missed. After almost being hit, how could Feng Rui not realize the situation? He completely abandoned his previous plan to ambush Lu Hanwen. Boundless Sea had peeked his head out from the right side. After pulling back his head, he didn't hesitate and prepared to attack from the left. But then, a heavy wind blew by. Flowing Cloud's greatsword once again swept over. Boundless Sea could only go back into hiding behind the tree. Feng Rui finally understood that the little demon truly had demonic reaction speed and eyes. Those traits were being put to full use in this terrain. It became even more clear why Blue Rain had chosen this map and chapter.